Hey, what is going on, Aquarius? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do a general read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to be using the Tattooed Tarot. I'm still going to pull an Oracle card, but I decided to change it to the end. That way we can get to the reading for the people that don't really care. Those Oracle. It's just a lot of talking in the beginning, so I just want to get to it. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, spirits, and guides, what message do we have for Aquarius? All right, Aquarius. So the first thing, the first thing I'm getting is we start off with the devil. You know, I feel like this connection. Now, for some of you, this may be one you're already in. For others, this is one coming toward you. But I feel like this connection started in a different direction than it ends. And what I mean by this, I feel like it was very, almost like a happy accident, very serendipitous meeting with this person. Like, for some of you, you may have met this person randomly. You know, like in the fact of meeting this person through online dating or a hookup with from a friend. Just the intentions of this person, the intentions when meeting them was not exactly what we're gonna get from this. You know, like I said, it's a happy accident. I feel like this is more of just meeting someone new, or for some of you, it may have been just a hookup, you know, but what you find is something much deeper than that. And I feel like that becomes very clear very quickly. I mean, we have the Knave of Wands. I mean, I feel like you didn't see this coming. This is the energy we're getting, you know, but there's so much potential here with that Knave of Wands. I mean, you know, I feel like you didn't expect what you were going to find. You know, I feel like with this person, I mean, obviously there's a lot of physical energy between the two of you. Like I said, with that Devil card, a lot of physical energy. But it's something much deeper than that. You know, I mean, I feel like this person makes you laugh. I feel like they're going to make you laugh. You're going to have fun with this person. Just enjoying each other with that Queen of Wands, that zest for life. The King of Swords. I feel like this person is a very intelligent person. And I feel like that just, they pique your interest. You know, very interesting. And someone that, like, I mean, I just see a lot of communication with this person. You know, and I feel like that's what builds the bond between this. That's what changes how you see this person. Is the communication. I feel like when you meet this person, there's a lot of communication. a lot more than you were expecting from what you were expecting from this. It's like when you go to, like I said, it's serendipity. You go to you go to look for your keys and you find $100. You know what I mean? It's all little happy accidents, like Bob Ross would say. But like I said, finding this connection, this nurturing energy, like nurturing this, wanting it to be more. And that's exactly what I see. We have the Star card, that Aquarius energy. We have the Chariot, that Cancer energy. I see a lot of forward movement here. And I feel like with this person, one thing I am seeing is we have the King of Cups in reverse. So I don't feel like this person's overly emotional or doesn't show emotion. I feel like we're going back to the King of Swords. It's a very intelligent energy, but it's more of a head over heart, type energy. And like I said, with the King of Cups, so don't expect this person to be, reading you sonnets and poems the first date. And expressing their love from the rooftops. Now, for some of you, that may happen. But like I said, I don't feel like this person's overly emotional or overly good at showing emotion. But what I see, we have the Empress. This person's drawn to you. I feel like they see you very different, as being very different. And they love it. Like I said, finding what you didn't know you were looking for with that Three of Wands, that Empress, that Libra energy. The seed has been planted. This new fresh seed is being planted here. And with the Three of Cups, I just feel like that energy of like, hey, I'm going to go meet someone. I don't want anything serious, but that's exactly what you find. Sometimes we think we have the plan, and sometimes, what's that old saying by Mike Tyson? Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face. One thing that I'm seeing, is a very intellectual connection. Like I said, very open, very direct. We have the Eight of Wands and the Queen of Swords. So, I'm just seeing, communication with this person just flows. Just talk about anything and everything. From the craziest, most random shit to the most intense, deep conversations is what I see here. I see a lot of happiness with this connection. Just making each other happy, just happy to be with each other. And like I said, with the nurturing, the forward movement with this, it's moving very, very naturally. It's not being forced whatsoever. There's no overthinking, there's no underthinking, it's just flowing. And it's, like I said, again, with that King of Cups in reverse, it's not really putting a label on it as well. We have the Lovers as well, and the Two of Cups. This is definitely a soulmate, twin flame type energy, and like I said, this person is just in awe of you. What you're gonna think of them, so I'm gonna stick to what their feelings towards you. There's just something different about you. You're very different, and they love that. I feel like this person has good taste, and like I said, they may, from what I'm seeing, is they may have been looking for the same thing you were looking for and didn't expect to find what they found as well. Maybe hoping to meet a friend, or like I said, going for the hookup with no attachments. But somewhere along the line, that plan got thrown out the door. But feeling very comfortable in it, that's what I'm getting. It's not forced. It's just very natural. You know, it flows very, very genuinely. Like I said, finding the opposite of what you were looking for, or what you thought you were looking for. Like I said with the Three of Wands, but it is what you were looking for. Not expecting to find it, but finding it. I know that got a little confusing. But like I said, there's just no, I mean, there's no, we end this with the Ace of Wands. You know, inspiring each other, just inspiring real conversation. And like I said, being goofy, but also going from having a goofy talk about whatever, you know, like having a good laugh, to going to talking about something deep and, you know, just out of this world, and not feeling like an alien. I don't know why I said that, but that's the feeling I get. That's the thoughts that are going through my head is, you know, you feel like you're on the same planet with this person. And I feel like that's just really, that ties it up in a nice, tight little bow. You know, sometimes we just feel like we're on a different planet, and then we meet someone that just like, you're like, hey, you know, it's like, I watched this show the other day, and this guy went to Japan. He didn't speak Japanese at all. Um, he was finding it very frustrating to get things done. So he's walking down the street, and he sees this other guy, and he was from Canada, and this guy had a backpack on with a Canadian thing, and he went up to talk to the guy, and the guy, you know, was obviously Canadian, and they were just having a great conversation. And it was almost like that, like, you know what I mean? Like, these people are all speaking different language. I don't understand it. And all of a sudden I meet this one person that speaks my language. So, you know, you just click. What I see with this, we have Aries, Leo, we have Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, little Scorpio as well. It's actually funny. When I was talking about, when that thought came to my head, I was thinking about penicillin. Did you know penicillin was accidentally found? Alexander Fleming, I believe his name was. Penicillin is mold, and it came in contact with bacteria, and the bacteria wouldn't grow where the mold was, and that's how we discovered penicillin. Fun fact. All right, let's do the oracle. So I'm going to use the classic horror oracle. I'm not familiar enough with it to just know it off by heart, so I'm going to look it up. Give us the card for Aquarius. Give us a message for Aquarius, universe. Children of the Night. So that's probably Dracula. I haven't even used all these cards yet, to be honest with you. Children of the Night. Dracula. Listen to them, your kindred spirits, those of similar habits and haunts, who share your taste and enthusiasms. Many creatures, bats, humans, wolves, have evolved as social animals who benefit from close bonds that go beyond even the blood ties of immediate relatives. Roam with your pack. It's good for the soul. The upright meaning is make it a night to remember. That sounds fitting. I think of that movie too. I really like that movie, Serendipity. You know, sometimes we just, we find things that we didn't know we were looking for. And I feel like it's like everything comes in alignment. Everything comes together. You know, sometimes we meet people and we don't even realize how important they are or how important they're going to be. You know, we may meet them in the weirdest ways. One of my good friends, I met him, we were probably 7, and he stole my bike. I left it at the park, and he stole my bike, so a friend of mine told me where he lives, so I went to go to his house. I was like 6 or 7. I mean, but I'm from the wild area where our parents let us roam free. But anyway, I went to his house, and I remember I seen it on, leaning against his deck, so I grabbed it and I started walking to the thing, and his parents came out, or his dad came out, and then his mom came out, I think. But anyway, they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm coming to get my bike," and they said, "Oh, is that your bike?" He said he bought it off somebody. I said, "No." I said that I left it at the park by mistake, and we were playing football, and I left it at the park. Like, I didn't leave the park. I was just on the other side of the park, and I left my bike at the, like, where the monkey bars and shit is. And I said he just took it. And anyway, so the mother and them called him out, and we got to the bottom of it. But the funny thing is I was mad at him. Come to find out, he didn't even steal my bike. Another kid sold him my bike. So he didn't actually lie to his parents. He actually did buy the bike, just not from the person that owned it. But we ended up being friends, and like, if I didn't see his parents, I would have took the bike, and he would have thought somebody stole it from him, and we probably would never have talked. And we ended up talking, and we got to know each other, and we've been friends pretty much ever since. It was just random, though. Like, what's the odds that somebody's gonna tell some other kid that my bike's for sale? And like I said, I wouldn't have known that if his parents didn't happen to come out right when I was grabbing his bike. Like, I don't know what his dad was doing. I think he was going to his garage or whatever, but he walked out as I was walking down the driveway with my bike. But I mean, it was my fault. I shouldn't have left my bike unattended, I guess. But I never did find out the kid who sold it to him. He said it was an older kid, so there's not much I could have done about it anyway. Yeah, I was like 6 or 7. It's just funny, like, my daughter, she's gonna be 8 in a couple days, and even at 8, I wouldn't let her just walk the neighborhood. But I was allowed to walk the neighborhood. The only rule I had when I was a kid is be home by dark. Like, even my 12-year-old, when he goes out, I'm always calling him, texting him, seeing where he's at all the time. It's a different world, It's a different world we live in. And I live in the country, so, like, in a small town in the country. But even though I know most people in this town, like, I've known them my whole life. I've been here my whole life, so even still, it's just, I'm always worried. Just the things you hear about it on the news. I think that shit just gets in your head, But anyway, I got so far off topic that probably a good place to end it. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.